What is going on, YouTube? Glad to be here. Welcome to our Week 8 match against the Kansas City Kingdras, coached by Kingdra Plays Games. I feel like a little under the weather, so please bear with me. I'm sorry if I don't sound like myself, but we do have Zapdos, Swampert, Gardevoir, Fortress, Mismagius, and Haxorus against his Chinchino, Oromatisse, Hitmonlee, Donphan, Tornadus, and Mega Venusaur. My prep definitely could have been better for this match. Definitely could have. I did not expect Oromatisse to come in. I don't know what a Tornadus can do, and we have one contingency for Chinchino. So, but I felt like he was either going to be leading off with Donphan or Venusaur. Definitely not Hitmonlee, definitely not Oromatisse. Maybe Tornadus. Again, I didn't know what this thing could do. And chances are not Chinchino. If he'd let off with Chinchino, it could actually catch a lot of people off guard. No one expects a fast heavy hitter to start off. But we're going to start off with Zapdos as he goes into Sycamore, the Mega Venusaur. Now, I feel like the switch into Fortress was a very obvious play. So we stated, we have nothing to lose. It's our Mega Venusaur switching. We have very high def and safety goggles. So Zapdos is kind of here to scout. He does go for the Hidden Power Fire, which is great for us. It does reveal it. We do know we can't bring Fortress into this. We go for the Air Cutter, and judging by that damage, this isn't offensive Mega Venusaur, because Zapdos only has maybe 68 special attack investment. But he goes into Jess the Oromatisse to catch this second Air Cutter. And judging by that damage, this is a physically defensive Jess. But we'll make the switch into Bruce Willis here. I figure we can kind of keep guessing on what kind of Zapdos we are. We went for 2 Air Cutters. We could easily fake the Scarf or the Specs. He goes for a Wish. Obviously, he's going to go back to that Mega Venusaur. So I'm going to kind of just take this free opportunity to get some rocks up. So he goes into Sycamore. Oh, we got our Stealth Rocks up, and that's fantastic for us. Tornadus is not going to appreciate that. The rest of his team really isn't going to care too much, but residual damage is nice, and it stops him from using Sashes. So we're going to go back into Storm Color. As he makes a good prediction here, goes to the Sludge Bomb. Fortunately, it really doesn't do a whole lot to us, which makes... I was torn in this part, because he definitely wasn't a defensive Venusaur, but he wasn't a fully special offensive Venusaur either. And I'm forced to assume he was carrying the EQ, so he might have pumped some attack into it as well. But we do go for another Air Cutter as he switches into Oromatisse and cuts it down to about half. So that's great for us. And I figure Mega Venusaur is at 50%, Oromatisse is around 50%. He has no reason to not wish. We might as well just go for a Roost and kind of stabilize off there. But he does get his wish up. And it's really just a toss-up. I wasn't sure if he wanted to keep Oromatisse in here and kind of just let it do its thing or go back into Venusaur. So we go into Bruce Willis, who's going to catch this Moonblast, and really does not appreciate it. It kind of throws me off every now and again how much special attack Oromatisse really has. But I'm done playing the Switch game. I don't want to play the Switch game and be the guy who gets caught off guard. So we're just going to double back into Zapdos, predict him to go back into Mega Venusaur. But instead he goes into Yokohama the Donphan. Now, I wasn't sure whether he was going to go for a Rapid Spin here, or predict the Mismagius switch. But he does reveal that he has the leftover switch. That's alright, I'm not worried about it. But just in case he would to go for the Rapid Spin, we do go into Mismagius. We are prepared with that Cold Berry in case he wants to knock off. We have max defense. But he switches out again, and I wasn't sure what he was doing. But he goes into Chinchino, and I was a hair trigger away from going into Fortress until I realized I'm a Ghost type. He has no reason to go for Tail Slap. But Chinchino does go for the Knock Off here. Really happy he didn't go for the Rock Blast because that would have killed us. I took a huge risk with that, but it paid off. We do get a T-Wave, which kind of just makes this thing useless. It's basically a dead mon in his team now, and I'm okay with that. So it being paralyzed, we're going to switch into Reginald. And he's going to switch out of there. I knew whatever it wanted to do wasn't going to kill unless it went for a tail slap, which I had zero reason to do on a Miss Magus. But he goes into Jest. Now this play is so important. Now I completely understand. I easily could have switched out into Fortress to eat a Mood Blast. But at the same time, he brought a defensive, wish-passing Aerobatis and an offensive Venusaur. Now, since Venusaur was offensive, it had to take a Wish Pass from an Aerobatis. A Full Super Treatment is not carrying Synthesis. And at the same time, outside of Haxorus, I didn't have anything that could really touch this Aerobatis. So I felt like it was in my best interest to just hit it as hard as possible to kind of just break it down a little so Frank could come in here and clean it up with a hard Psychic. I know Haxorus could have made a pretty big dent in his team, but I really feel like it was a much better idea to take care of his Cleric early game. And again, Haxorus is Rivalry. We could only hit Tornadus, Hitmonlee, Donphan, maybe Venusaur, but either way, he sends it to Geo. He mentioned on his side of the video that it was to scout whether we were Specs or not. I guess if we were Specs, it wouldn't have killed. I didn't calc it without the Specs. But he goes into Tornadus. I really have no idea what these things do. I didn't want to take a chance on Gardevoir dying. So we go into Fortress, we're going to eat a Hurricane. And I missed the part of the screen where it said it was a crit. I was not paying attention where I should have been. Went back into Gardevoir and assumed this thing was Specs. And I was like, okay, we can live with Specs Hurricane from Tornadus. But it goes for another one, and it doesn't do Specs damage. I was really confused here. But the Psychic does kill the Tornadus, so there really wasn't too much to be concerned about there. Tornadus falls, and we're looking at a nice 4-4 already. Hitmonlee comes in, and I know Zapdos, wow, 4-on-3, I'm sorry. I know Gardevoir is putting some pressure on his team, and I really wanted to get Miss Magus in here to kind of suck up this Fake Out. I don't want Hitmonlee to get that Unburden boost, when in all reality, I probably should have let him and just went into Swampert to force the switch out and then have him lose it, or let him take a burn, either which way. I should have let him get the Fake Out early, but we go for an Attract, because by this point, the only thing living on his team is Male. So Donphan, that weird elephant, does become attracted to a Ghost, which is just wrong on a ton of different levels. We go for the Energy Ball, hits him pretty hard but doesn't kill. Again, we have no special attack investment, just because I needed the defense, but he goes for the Stealth Rock here, which is honestly fine. The only mods I have weak to Rock are Zapdos anyway. But he gets some lefties back. At this range, if I had a medium to high roll on Shadow Ball, we would have killed Donphan. So I felt like there was no reason not to test it, plus to be safer if we switch anyway. He goes into Venusaur. Eats a Shadow Ball, does a surprising amount of damage for us not having any special attack investment. He goes for a Sludge Bomb. And that, oh, it's the crit, it hurts so bad. But we do get a T-Wave off, which is lucky for us. Because again, this is an offensive Venusaur. I really didn't want to sack Miss Magus this early on, so we go back into the Storm Collar, again, our designated switch in. And Zapdos can pretty much just put this thing down now. But he goes for the Sludge Bomb. And we eat it up fairly well. I'm surprised we haven't gotten poisoned yet, to be perfectly honest. I really should have gone for a Roost here, but we went for the Air Cutter anyway. Donphan does come in. And I didn't expect this to kill at all. This had to have been a high roll. We only have 68 investment in special attack. Yeah, it was stab, but still, I didn't expect it to kill. So we are 4-on-2 right now. Everything is very much looking in our favor. And I figure at this point, he's probably going to expect Miss Magus to switch in. We'll just keep on with Zapdos, go for an Air Cutter. So Air Cutter does come in hard on the Hitmonlee. Doesn't kill it, though. This thing has so much special bulk. I thought it would. I really did. I should have calced it. Probably would have made the same play regardless, but Zapdos does fall there, which is unfortunate, but having Venusaur paralyzed means we really didn't need it too much. We're going to Swampert. He knows he can't kill this thing, so we go for a Roar, predict the switch to Mega Venusaur. So Mega Venusaur was going to eat some nice rocks damage. we are going to roar it back out to force Hitmonlee to come back in, which is just fantastic. So at this point, I feel like he's pressured enough on a 2 versus 3 to go for the fake out again. So we're going to go back into Orko just to kind of suck that up again. And Orko's not appreciating this rocks damage, but he does go for the fake out. Luckily, it does not affect, but he hits us with a knockoff, which this would be the time I'd sack Orko. I'm completely okay with that. He doesn't get the Unburden boost, and at this rate, I feel like another switch-in's probably going to kill him from rocks. So we go in the Swampert. After calcing it, Ice Beam would kill the Hitmonlee. So we go for the Ice Beam just in case he wants to stay in. He switches into Venusaur, who's going to eat a little more rocks damage. And take this Ice Beam straight to its face, and it's not going to appreciate that. Given it doesn't do a lot of damage, it does enough for a nice 2-hit KO. Well, at its current health. Either way. So Mega Venusaur falls. And we're not out yet. We still have to kind of play around this fake out. We have to play around this Hitmonlee because it does live on like 2 hit points or so. And again, I miscalculated my rocks damage. We're gonna go back into Frank because at this I need to sack something off. After calculating it, Swampert can live anything after a fake out except a high jump kick. So I think we calced a reckless life orb high jump kick and it dealt 80%. Fake out did 17. Factoring in minimum max rolls, I wasn't about to take that chance, plus we'd already taken rocks damage. So he does have his Unburden boost. He goes for the knockoff, gets our Chesto Berry out of the way. I'm really surprised he didn't go for the high jump kick. He did reveal that he didn't have the high jump kick, which is understandable. I mean, at that rate, it risks him losing the game on a 10-15% chance miss. I don't remember which one it is. But if he missed, he would have lost regardless, so I can't really question that one too much. But anyway, Kingdra had a great game. I liked your team a lot. Really threw me off. I did not expect Aromatisse to be in there or to tank as well as it did. But guys, please go check his channel out. I'll leave the link below. And, you know, stay tuned. We're going to drop our team builder for Dr. V and the Colorado Rapidash coming up this week. But until then, stay frosty.